Welcome back to the channel. Thank you guys for hanging with me on this Friday. And if you've went out of your way to like, comment, or subscribe, thank you. All right, so yesterday I did a video on how important the Siwash hook is to bass fishing. And it's good to know these styles of hooks because every brand makes one. They make them in all different types. And it's important to know them because you're going to find a bait that you really like. And you're not necessarily going to know why. And those baits are going to go away. They always do. New companies buy them, change them, blah, 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 and you'll have to find a new one. And you don't want to be the person that's going, I don't know, the hook was like this and that and this. If you learn these critical terms, you can use them as you progress in your fishing. So this is another one of those hooks. Very important, and it catches fish. Now that looks similar to your round bend worm hook, but this is actually an O'Shaughnessy bend. So if you look, the bend of the hook is a little bit different. Everything about this hook is a little bit different than your normal round bend worm hook. And that is called an O'Shaughnessy bend hook. Every company makes this. So this would be one made by Gamakatsu. And they're just taking that O'Shaughnessy style and they're pretty much putting their own twist on it. So this is just a medium wire Gamakatsu hook, 4/0 in an O'Shaughnessy bend. But Owner makes one that's more of a heavy wire. So if you look at Owner's hooks, their like regular line of hooks is in that O'Shaughnessy bend and it's a little bit heavier wire. So if you want to flip, there's all kinds of different ways you can catch them. I've seen guys punch with this bait. I've been in a boat with a guy who was using this hook with a heavy action rod, 1.5 ounce weight, 65-pound test, and was pulling fish out of mats. So it's a very strong hook. The bend of it is very strong. You're typically not going to bend out a round bend worm hook. And if you have a heavier wire, you're for sure not going to bend it out, even if you're pulling 6-pounders out of a mat. I've seen it done. Now, I like this hook a lot when I'm just worm fishing because I feel like there's something to this. The way they hook the fish, it's usually right in the meat of their cheek, and you have no leverage there. You know, you just have a perfect fish is just pulling perfectly on the bend of the hook. There's no way they're coming off. So I've had some fish that have jumped 5 times and they're hooked perfect. They could have jumped 15 times. They wouldn't have come off. So this hook has its place with that. And you can, again, you can use this in all different sizes. They make it in jigs. They make it in all different things. So you may find that in your favorite jig. I know Jewel puts that hook in a lot of their jigs, and that is just, it's an awesome hook. I think the more you fish, the more you realize that hooking a bass and having him hooked where you need to get pliers out is a good thing. You're not going to lose fish as much. If you have hooks that are just, they pop right out easily every time, that's going to come back to cost you at some point. So you want to find a hook that is just going to be buried in the fish and you got to get pliers to get it out. So the O'Shaughnessy bend is one of those hooks. If you're flipping, if you're throwing a worm, if you're jig fishing, I'm sure they put it in even other baits, maybe spinner baits or something like that. But it's a phenomenal bend, and you should try to look for that hook if you're having any problem losing fish on your hooks that you're using. O'Shaughnessy bend, a bunch of companies make it, and basically you just got to look for one that looks like that. And when you find one that looks like that, that is it. It's different than your typical round bend worm hook, and it sticks them and keeps them on there really good. So try an O'Shaughnessy bend. Good luck to you guys, and I'll see you on the water.